What's up, everybody? This is Bobby here with Direct Gaming, and today we're talking about the Xbox Developer Direct for January 2025. This was a big one, and in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure the opinion of everyone that we've got here, this was a huge W for Microsoft and Xbox after some kind of shaky news lately. They needed this, and they came out swinging. Lethal, a Jester, how are you guys today?
I'm ecstatic, man. We just had a bombastic, thrilleristic, exceptional Xbox Developer Direct. So I'm happy, man.
And,
we had a freaking tastic Xbox showcase, and I loved it.
This guy already. Guy.
All right. Well, this was a really big one. Really, this made me very, very happy. And as someone who has been very critical of Microsoft, this is the first time I came away with nothing really to say. I can't say I don't know. Here they're presenting strong stuff. They're presenting dates on almost everything. And that's great because it gives those people who are in their ecosystem, and especially those people who are on Game Pass, something to look forward to in the immediate future, which I'm sure they love because that means those people are going to stay sub, right? But let's get down into this. They did reveal 4 games. They started with Ninja Gaiden 4. That is the legendary Japanese franchise that we're talking about. This looked super duper hype. It looked like the rebirth of the 2000s Ninja Gaiden franchise, which is, basically all you can ask for from Team Ninja, right? And they did this in conjunction with Platinum Games, right?
Hells yeah.
Yeah. So this is looking like a really, really impressive one. A lot of the fast-paced action that was around in the old ones. I'm sure this is going to be a super difficult game. Will, what do you think about this, man? Are you excited?
I'm excited as heck because not only, to be honest, I've never played any of them, but I have watched my friends play when it was out. I might get into this. Actually, not. I probably will get into this. I'm actually downloading Ninja Gaiden 2 as we speak right now, just to try that out. But I'm happy for this to come out. I know a lot of people, Koei Tecmo was like, "Oh my god, it's a DOA, but we got Ninja Gaiden, man. This is great because I remember back in high school, 2002, 2003-ish, I believe, that last time I remember seeing one of these, and the weird thing is Platinum Games doing it too, and I was like, oh, okay, good for them, because I've heard Platinum Games is not no more, but a lot of people left Platinum Games, so I'm like, all right, let's see how this looks, but it looks really good.
All right, and Jared, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, this to me was probably one of the best announcements Xbox could have done. For me, I just associate Ninja Gaiden with Xbox. That was the first time I ever played it. Was I don't know if it was base Xbox or 360. I don't know. I was a little bit of a late person coming into the series, but I remember that's my first way of playing it was through Xbox. And for me, this is to me, Ryu Hayabusa is just an Xbox mascot. Whatever anybody wants to argue with that with me, fine. But basically seeing that was oh, they're bringing back an old character who's been gone for some time. And I think, I don't know if they said it in the actual developer direct, but I think they said it had been years, a long time since the last, I think, Ninja Gaiden game. I don't know if they said it was a decade or whatever, but the point was it's been a long time. And so for them to revive this franchise and go into a sequel, on top of that, shadow dropping Ninja Gaiden 2, I think it was called Black or something, Black Edition.
Ninja Gaiden 2 Black.
Okay, yeah. See, I've never played that version. I think I just played Base 2, and I don't even think I finished it because I was a little bit too young. Those games are really hard. These to me were the Souls games before the Souls games became so popular. It became a big thing. And so them bringing back Ninja Gaiden is so badass. And I was confused at first. For a second there, I thought it was a remake because I was looking at the main character and I was like, that's not my Ryu Hayabusa. That's not my guy. And I was like, who's this guy? Who's this good-looking guy? What is he doing? He looks badass. And to see that they're going for this, this is a dual protagonist kind of storyline where this is another protag that you will be playing as. His name is Yakumo or something like that. And he has his own set of skills that are a little bit different from Ryu, but Ryu's still in the game. and there's going to be some type of like intertwined storyline here. I am so freaking sold. They also promised that in the actual developer direct that you're going to be seeing other characters from the past games. So you'll probably see like Rachel. She was the chick in black, but had like the cool scythe. The one girl from that's also in the fighting game. I can never pronounce her name. I don't know if it's Ayane or something like that. She's from, I think, Dead or Arrival?
Dead or Alive, DOA.
Dead or Alive. DOA. I think she's in that game too. But like again, they're just bringing back these characters and bringing back a franchise that to me means a lot. So this is exciting. This is like a massive W for Xbox. And to start off the show with this, I was like, man, that's pretty big because you could have ended the show with this. This could have been a big like ending bang. But to me, the rest of the show just carried forward, and this was a great start to the show, in my opinion.
I agree. I remember playing a little bit of the first Ninja Gaiden. I think it was like 2008 or something. So I think it was Xbox 360.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
I didn't play a ton of that. That was when I was like testing for EA. So when I got off work, the last thing I wanted to do was play more games. But it ended up being really cool, at least from what I remember. I always will remember Ninja Gaiden like on Nintendo being the hardest game I've ever played in my life. Though, yeah, that to me, that's always going to be, you know, the start of that franchise. But the later ones did keep that difficulty up, and I think it's because, you know, the original was hard because of system constraints and memory constraints. So like enemies would respawn if you know, backtracked even like 2 steps, you'd get the whole wave of enemies again, stuff like that. That's what made it so hard. But they really kind of ran with that and made the newer ones harder, just like you said. It was like kind of FromSoft before FromSoft, right? And that was a huge kind of thing to see that they were embracing that, or at least it looks like they're embracing that in this footage. But Ninja Gaiden 4, they said it's gonna coming out in fall. But yeah, the shadow drop of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, that was really cool too, because yeah, it's just, you know, anyone who kind of wants to check out the series before then, especially if you have Game Pass, you can do it right now for free, right? Or free with your subscription. That's really cool. And I think, Will, you said you're getting that right now, right?
It should be done downloading probably like next 2-3 minutes. So.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, check that out and you know, see what you think. And then, you know, come fall time, if you really enjoy it, hop on the new one. All right. The next one was one of my most anticipated. This is probably my most anticipated Xbox first party game right now. South of Midnight. This is, you know, a lot of people are saying it's Kena of the South, and I'm down with that. That's looks like that a lot. Like, it looks like it's going to be in the same vein as Kena Bridge of Spirits. Just kind of a world you can explore. Very cool. Based in the lore of the area, right? This game based in the American South, and they talked about how there's a lot of folklore, a lot of mythology, and they're really delving into that. This looked really awesome in my opinion. I was really happy to see that they are just kind of taking stuff from the South and bringing it to life, because that's one of those things that like America doesn't get credit for, because we have a lot of cool mythology, especially around the South, and you never hear about that, you know. So I think it's going to be really cool for a lot of people to explore that. They might get educated on, you know, how some things work down south. But Lethal, what did you think of this, man?
It's funny that you guys said like the Kena Bridge of Spirits and Jester. Actually, I think you played this game. I don't remember, but Jester will, I don't know if you agree with me or not, but this kind of reminded me a little bit more of like a Forspoken, like this character who's like, you know, typical coming of age story or whatever. Something is happening in her world and she's getting brought into this whole new thing that she wasn't like, you know, a part of or didn't know much about. And she's like been chosen to have like these powers and everything. And just reminded me a little bit more of like a Forspoken, I guess, in that way. But it also has like, in my opinion, like the combat to go with it on top of this interesting narrative that maybe Forspoken to some people just, you know, weren't too big on or whatever. But this game to me has a good narrative that I'm actually really interested in. I think you tackled it too, Bobby, talking about how it went through and gave like some of the history, right, of the folklore and all these different beasts and characters from like, you know, again, all these stories and everything, and they're just bringing it to life in this really cool claymation style. I think they showed this game off. What was it like? Was it 2 years ago when they first showed it off, or maybe a year ago at this point? I don't know. But this is one that was always like on my bingo card of like, yo, I'm 100% playing this day one when this comes out. And I don't know what I want to see from like the showing for this. I just want to see more, I guess. But I don't know if it was more story, more gameplay, or just more combat, or whatever the case may be. But they did do, I think, a bit of everything here, especially the combat, and kind of showing you a lot of like what it looks like. Because before it had more of, I guess, like back to you guys, like that Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. But to me, off of this new look at the combat, it looks actually a little bit more like I don't want to say free flowing, but it had more to it. I think more than just like your basic attacks, maybe a basic skill here or there. Like they were kind of showing that like, hey, like you don't want to just like be up in the face doing some close, melee damage. You're gonna get pummeled by the enemies who have like these crazy defensive abilities. Like you want to switch to range. You want to kind of go back and forth and do these things and weave these powerful attacks. And I'm like, dude, this combat just got way more intuitive, way more complex, and it looks so much cooler than what I thought it was going to be. The traversal looks like it's a lot of fun too. She's like running on walls and making a paraglider and doing all these different things. I'm like, dude, this looks insane. This looks way more than I thought it was going to be. And I'm such a fan of this art style. I think it's an art style that's not touched commonly. I don't think I've seen too many games that go for something like this. I couldn't even tell you off one in the top of my head that goes for this. So like right off the jump, I think that's what makes this game for me stick out just so much, because it is going for that claymation stop motion type of style, and it is so unique with that. And the characters, the designs of everybody in this game just look so freaking cool. Story looks gripping, the gameplays looks gripping. It's just one of those games I think is going to come out and be like a critical banger. I think a lot of people are going to like this game, including myself. I'm incredibly excited for it. But yeah, I can't wait, man. It looks so good. I'm so glad it's a Game Pass title, and I hope a lot of people do check it out. But yeah, it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
To piggyback what you just said about the whole stop motion claymation, I'm not too sure, but I heard there was rumors where you can turn that off. So if you do not feel like watching that or having that throughout the game, you can turn that off. And getting back into what you just said about Forspoken. Now that you talk about it, I do kind of feel that, because a little about Forspoken, she was from New York and she got thrown into the world. Come to find out, little spoilers, that her backstory is she was kind of like a princess. So like her learning about her roots in Forspoken, and then you talk about this game about learning her roots about the Deep South and stuff like that. It's so dope. I forgot the two-toed Sam, I think that's his name, the big gator. He looks dope as hell. The combat looks great. There's like a get over here scorpion style thing where you can pull them closer to you. You can counter attack. They have cooldowns, but if you defeat like a certain enemy in that encounter, your cooldowns refresh and stuff like that. It just looks good. Like you said, you touched on the traversal, wall running from side to side and then making another wall from the weaves and then jumping back, making the paraglider. It's so good, and I cannot wait, because the music, that type of music, is gonna be dope to listen to as well. I wasn't born over there. I was born, east side New York, but just hearing that music in like Bayou music or like New Orleans type music is gonna be dope, especially in a game. And it's just cool to see a person of color being someone like the main character, and it's just so cool. Just I think her name was Hazel. Yeah, Hazel. It's so dope. Even the person that they picked to be the voice actress, it looks really dope. And she's like really humbled, and she's really excited to get she's really excited to get people to play this, and I like you said, Jared, it's gonna be good, and I cannot wait. And it's on Game Pass too, and you guys know me and my Game Pass. I love me by Game Pass, but this is gonna be dope. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's gonna be a lot of really cool stuff visually in this game, and I'm super excited for it. Pending there's reviews that come out. This is very likely going to be my first day one Xbox game purchase in a very long time. I can't.
Oh
remember.
Yeah, I'm proud of you about it.
See.
Yeah, like I do not mind. How many times have I said it? I do not mind buying the games if they are good. I had to wait for Indiana Jones because that was like, the reviews came out like last second. And so I don't ever trust that. But I'm glad to see this doing well, and I might get Game Pass to try that out. But for South of Midnight, if they get the reviews out, they're solid, I might buy this because it just looks like a solid game overall that I would enjoy. So yeah, I'm really, really, really looking forward to this one. And speaking of really looking forward to games even more now that this direct happened, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 looks phenomenal.
Yes,
I cannot understate how good of an RPG this is shaping up to be. I was excited about this before, and I put on Blue Sky. I said I was excited about South of Midnight, but Expedition 33, like, this game seems like it is a statement of intent of a studio with their first game that's going, hey, we're here now as Sandfall Interactive, and we are going to be making the heavy hitters. Like, I don't think I've seen, at least with everything how it's looking now, I don't think I've seen such a strong first title as an RPG. And I know they said it's not going to be huge, right? It's not going to be Rebirth like 150 hours, but the systems and stuff like that they showed off today in this game, like how many, what did they call it? Was it like luminaries or something?
Something like that. Yeah, I think so.
Something like that.
Something like that, like where it's like the passive effects, and they said, oh, you can have hundreds of them going at
my
once.
My brain was like
between
what?
Between each character and each weapon, and each each character is gonna have like their deep story that you have to deal with. Like, I love a flawed character story. This is looking right up my alley. Will, tell me about it, man.
If you guys do not know, I do not like turn-based RPGs. They just bore me. They put me to sleep. But my God, am I definitely picking this up. I do have one gripe though. It's not about the game itself. It's about the release date. Because the release date for what should we call it? Did my computer crash? Alright. The release date for South of Midnight is the 8th, April 8th, and the release date for Expedition 33 is April 24th. But that doesn't give us a lot of time to play said games. I like to take my time with games. I don't like to really rush. But Expedition 33, with the amount of luminaires, I don't know what we're gonna call them, but the amount of stuff that you can do, the little with the overworld map that was like 3D over there with the guy you can fly and get special abilities with, the whole it's kind of like time-based RPG, kind of action turn-based RPG where you press a button, you can parry literally almost, I think they said, every move or something like that. That's going to be amazing, because that actually makes you have to think and not like, I'm just going to press the button, I'm going to drop my controller and go get something to drink real quick while the NPC does something to me, or you know what I mean? So you have to be on your toes for that. And I think that's why I'm going to enjoy it a lot. Plus, it's Ben Starr. You cannot go wrong with Ben Starr at all. So that's going to be sick. And I literally cannot wait. So much RPG.
Yeah, it's like Ben Starr. I think Andy Serkis is in it. I think Charlie Cox is in it, right? Like,
oh wow, I didn't even know Charlie Cox was in it. Yeah, that's a star-studded cast.
Yeah,
right
that's huge. Lethal, give me your thoughts on it. I know you got a lot to say, buddy. I know you do.
Where do I begin? I don't want to try to tackle the same points that you guys have kind of hit, but I just kind of going over some of them. But yeah, this showing, man, this was the type of trailer and a type of like focus with the developers and them talking about the game that it gave me goosebumps. Like, I tweeted about this like after they were done with the going over the game. I just got immediate goosebumps. Like, I could already tell. I guess for me uniquely, I just feel like this game's gonna have a really gripping narrative. It seems like just the way that they were talking about the characters and how each of the characters have their own kind of unique stories. This is gonna be one of those games where like everybody has, their own personal thing, and somehow it's all intertwined, and they just become this group of strangers that are probably going to become super close by the end. And a story like that, to me, for whatever reason, just like it hits, and it's I just feel like it's going to have one of those like very emotional impacts, like whether it's like a loss at the end or something like that. It just has that narrative touch to it. And I love that. That's for me. That is like I'm a big narrative guy when it comes to games, and so like it hit that with me with this last trailer, and I think it was the music too, and the environments are just absolutely just gorgeous. Like them going through the different areas, and I'm just sitting here like, dude, this is just hitting on the types of things that I look forward to in an RPG. And I think the core of the narrative that they gave, like, what is the reason behind the 33, right? That symbolic meaning of how it relates to age, and but I think it's like when you're past that age, you end up dying or whatever. And it's all these people who are like younger, and then like people, it's like like it's getting to the point where like people are dying younger and younger. Like it just has such a gripping narrative, and that's the point I want to take away with that, is that like they sold me on that, absolutely sold me on that. And I know you guys touched about the combat, and this game, I feel like there's so many inspirations, whether you're looking at it from like the lens of like it having like that active combat style with the turn-based of like the Mario RPG games, right? It has like a really cool, like, it looked like it was like a defensive system to try to like dodge attacks and everything. It just has a really cool, fun style of the turn-based system, which I think is fun. And then you add all the really cool effects, the particle effects, the insane, just the slow-mos and everything that they're doing inside that combat. It's just so freaking, like, it's sexy, man. You can't help but just be like, God damn, that just looks so freaking good, man. And I know they introduced more characters, and they introduced like more, like, I already forgot what the one thing was called, but like it's that cool new character that you can like ride or whatever, and it brings you into like this actual open world map. Like they're doing like the old school traditional, I think, world map, where you're kind of like, like, think of like Final Fantasy 7, like that type of system, or the older Final Fantasy games. And they're doing such really cool like things from like past like old RPG games. Like you could just tell these are a bunch of people who love RPGs, and they're picking probably different RPGs that they all love that are coming together to make this beautiful game. And it just shows. Like it's just you can't help but look at this trailer and be like, yo, it shows, man. Like this looks like it's going to be like a really good game. Like I just have that gut feeling with it, man. And I don't think there's anything really too much else to add. I mean, they went over a little bit of the skill trees. You could design characters the way you want in terms of abilities and skill paths. They were going over like hundreds of freaking like abilities like per character. Like it's going to be an intuitive system. And Bobby, it's funny because you mentioned like it might not be as long of a game, but like I got the impression that this might be just as long of those types of games, right? This could be another Sega Atlas type of title where it's like 100+ hours, or Rebirth style 100+ hours. But I'm curious how long it's actually going to be. But I think they're touching everything, man. They got good characters. They got a good story. The game looks phenomenal. The combat looks like fun. I mean, once you have all those things, like it's just the makings for an obvious, amazing game, an incredible game. And I think Jester, you also you touched upon something at the end there where it was more of a interesting decision to have this debut in the same month as South of Midnight, which I'm even curious about too. That is a very interesting design choice there. I wonder if that means they have other games maybe to fill out the rest of the year. Curious what else is in the Xbox's pipeline, but. Man, April is going to be a disgustingly busy month, especially, if you have Game Pass. This is going to be an incredible get. You don't have the money to buy the game, but if you can't, man, get Game Pass. I think this is a game that's worth, looking into based off of just what we're seeing, already now. So I'm excited, man. I'm stoked for this.
I agree. Excuse me. I agree in that there is so much for this, and one thing I love that you said was it looks like people who love RPGs just made an RPG. And that was one of the things that I noticed when they were talking about it, because everyone seemed really excited, like they were all really on board with what they were doing, and they really believe in the project. And this is one of those things that, like, if you can support especially something like this, right? Like they already got their Game Pass check, so if you can buy the game, you're just going to help this developer more. And that's what I always say. Like, even if I like, there's games I bought after I played them on Game Pass, because I go, oh, that was awesome. Like, I bought Tunic like 3 or 4 times, because that game's awesome. And I want Finji to like make more games. So, same thing here. If you can buy the game, if you can swing that monetarily, times is tough, we all know, but if you can swing that, do it for this one 100% if you're interested in it, because it really does look like a labor of love and something that just like as they talked more, I mean, I was already impressed by how it looked and the cast and all that, but then as they talked about these systems, I was like, this is going to be crazy. Like, this game is going to be so good. It's going to have so much to it. And I feel like that's a good thing with RPGs too. And I do like that they said, hey, it's going to be like 40-50 hours, right? Because to me, that is an RPG that you're gonna replay and get the most out of in terms of it being an RPG where you can change how you do everything, right? Like it's if I go through and I like do all of Rebirth, that's probably it. Like that 150 hours or 200 hours that's what they're getting from me. You know what I mean? But if this comes out and it's like 40, 60 if you want to like complete it, okay, cool. And then like in another couple months I'll be like, I want to play that again and try stuff differently, right? That's a big thing about RPGs that I feel like is lost with some of these super long ones like Rebirth and Metaphor. I never have the drive to go back and do it again, which is, that kind of defeats the RPG part of it for me a little bit. I mean, not that they're bad games. It just means that I'm not going to replay them. But anyway, yeah, you guys made some great points. This one is looking incredible. And now let's talk about the BMF with the BFG. Doomslayer's back. Doom, the Dark Ages. Looking very, very impressive. Id is, they are like, I mean, they've been doing it a long time. And they don't lay off the gas, right? I think we can agree on that. Since Doom came out, like they've just been a whole new kind of animal, and it's pretty wild to see. It's like they said, I think they said in there like 2016 Doom was like run and gun, and then Doom Eternal was like, right, like jump and shoot, right? And they said this one is just like fight, and it looked really cool seeing the like the parries, the shielding. Like you could just sit there and just tank stuff and then just like 1v1 like a giant demon. That's awesome. And that really to me felt like some Doom, but I don't know what to say other than this just looks like more just Doom. It's metal. It's metal as hell. It's gory. You're slaying demons. Like you've got Doom is one of those like there's this cathartic violence games, that you get. And, but like so what do y'all think about this one? How about Jared? You start.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. 2 seconds. I'll give you 2 seconds right now, man. I never played a Doom game, so that has to show you or tell you anything for me. I'm just not a Doom guy. I mean, but just to give like my impressions or whatever. I mean, it looks like fun, and like Bobby, kind of like what you said. This very much just feels like a heavy, high octane action game where I'm just going there and I'm just destroying everything in my sights. Right? I don't know about the story when it comes to these games. I don't know if it's anything like convoluted, anything complex or big. But in terms of like, the vibes I'm getting, man, it just seems like it's a good time. You're going to go in there, you're going to kill monsters 10 times your size in mere seconds because you're just that powerful. Like it just gives like that type of vibe. And so like, for those that like that, cool. I think people are going to like that. I mean, I know Doom games are pretty, like popular for the most part. I know a lot of people like these games. So, I think it is just looking like more Doom, personally from just looking at, past trailers from other games and everything. But I'm curious to hear Jester's feedback or whatever, because I know he plays, I think, some Doom games.
Yeah, so I've played 2016, never beat it, but I played a little bit of it, and I played Doom Eternal, which was actually pretty fun. Never beat it, but it was really fun. And I'm not a big Doom fan, but I will be playing this. As you were talking, I was just picturing the trailer in my head. I'm like, it's not going to make sense, but if you think about it, it makes sense. This is kind of like a Soulsborne-y Doom, because usually Doom is really it's hack and slash, up, you're going crazy and stuff like that. This is more of like the 1v1, where you have a lot of parrying mechanics, you have a lot of reflecting mechanics, and that's kind of like a Soulsborne type game. Call me crazy, but like I feel like this is more of like the Soulsborne-ish version of Doom, but it's still sick. I'm gonna be playing it. You're basically Captain America, reflecting shields, throwing the shield with a gun, with a gun that you crank skulls in. Like, come on, like that's sick. I'm fairly impressed on what it is. And apparently it is a prequel to Doom 2016, which like I said, I didn't beat it, but now if I beat Doom this Doom coming up, and I'm gonna have to beat 2016, and that's gonna make me beat Eternal. So yeah, I'm excited, and it looks dope. You're basically Captain America with with a Bucky gun. That's it. It's so sick.
I like that. It's a really great way to put it. Yeah, I think overall, kind of wrapping up, I'm gonna lay out my final thoughts on this, and then I want to hear from you guys. We have a history here of talking about these Xbox shows, right, Lethal? How many times have we gone on for like 2 hours after those summer showcases?
Oh gosh, how many times?
Right,
how many times?
Like 2 or 3 years in a row. Like we've gone on for hours, like talking about how awesome these look. And last year I was very open, saying it looks awesome, but I need them to deliver something because they've failed to do that in the past. This is not something where I feel like they're going to fail to deliver on any of the stuff that they just showed. It's all looking fantastic, and this is what I've been talking about for how many years now? Like three and a half, that we just need to see them make the games. Like that's all that I've said about Xbox in terms of it, right? And I know you guys all call me a hater, and that's fine, but I've just been a person to say, hey, like I just want them to give good games. And seeing Doom and South of Midnight, along with the third-party titles that they're helping bring to the table as part of this developer direct is very cool and very promising. And I'm hoping in their June showcase they have more of this, where they give us the little short-term windows of, hey, here's the stuff for June, or in June, here's the stuff that's coming out July through December, right? And just give us like good glimpses of stuff that's coming. Don't make big lofty promises of stuff that's like 7 years away. Just show us like some stuff that you have ready to go. And you do that, you got me on the hype train. Like I really, really am so impressed today by what they managed to do with this developer direct. And yeah, like I really don't have a bad thing to say about it today. All right. Will, what did you think?
I thought this was great. I gave it an A. Despite like I said, the only gripe that I have is just those two games basically literally 2 weeks right after each other, and actually Doom is May in May as well. So I mean that gives you a little bit of time, but it's just that's the only gripe that I have, is just those two games back to back. But Xbox, as you guys know, I guess I'm a big Xbox fan, but I play PlayStation and Xbox, PC, Switch, but I guess my home is Xbox. But as a quote unquote Xbox fan, I thought this was really great. They needed this, and they needed this really bad. And surprisingly, one game that I thought they would have showed, just because it's coming out pretty soon, Avowed. I thought they would have gave us like a hit, like something with Avowed, just because it's coming out next month, or like maybe a month and a half or so. But I thought it was great, and Xbox, I tip my cap to you because you needed this, and clap, 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 clap. Thank you for that.
All right, Jared, what did you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I said this on Twitter too, and we were talking about it a little bit, Bobby, but I also felt that this was just probably one of the best, if not the best, developer direct that they've had in a long time. And that's always going to come down to what you wanted out of, you know, all these games, all these announcements. If something stuck out to you or whatever, it's always going to be like a personal thing or whatever. And I kind of felt like every single one of these games, except for Doom, you know, I said that Doom is not big for me, but the rest of them, they all very much stood out to me, and they're all games that I'm excited for. Like Ninja Gaiden is a series that I love, so to see them have that as their, like, you know, secret announcement, like, you know, big surprise, along with the shadow drop, man, that is just like chef's kiss. That's how you do it. That's an amazing, cool surprise there. South of Midnight was a game that I was super excited about. Same thing with Expedition 33. So it's like everything to me was really exciting. So of course this was like an A++ for me. But I've said this before, and I want to reiterate it, but just say it again. I think this format, like an Xbox Developer Direct, where it does focus a lot on the developers and they are telling you their games and you're seeing these teams and you're kind of seeing a little bit of like the concepts, like the behind the scenes look. I love this format so much, and it's a format that I'm glad that feels like it's more of a thing with Xbox, and because I know everybody else kind of has the way that they do it. Nintendo Direct has their styles, right? PlayStation has their styles with the state of plays, and Xbox does this, and I love this format so much, and it really does help, I guess, for me personally, when it comes to like, you know, upcoming announcements coming to Xbox. Like I actually like genuinely look forward to their developer directs a lot. I just like seeing the people making. I like to see the people behind these games, right? The developers themselves, and when they have them, they're showcasing their game, and you get to see them. There's just that level of like connection that you can kind of feel to these games when you get to see the developers talk about it and the way that they do it, and just the way that they record these and they show these, like their transitions and everything. Like I'm just a fan of it. I really do like this format a lot. I love that they always have like, you know, that one special thing to look forward to. Like it's always like blurred out. You don't know what it's going to be. Question mark. You know, we're all guessing what it's going to be. And so again, just format. I love it so much. In particular, this showing and the games that they have for this one, just off the charts. This is how you do it. I'm excited, you know, seeing going forward, like their next one, what they're going to have for that one. Now that we're getting like, you know, these games out, I'm curious to see like what's the next, you know, the next batch that we'll get to look more into. But yeah, they killed it. They crushed it. This is it, man. This is how you do it, Xbox.
Yeah, I agree. After, was it 2023? Yeah, I think it was 2023 because it was Redfall, right?
Yeah,
where
when they first
Phil went on the. Yeah, Phil, you good kid. You two are the only two people I know that have completed that game. So I'm just saying. So Phil Spencer had that interview, right? The infamous kind of funny where he said, you know, if I was gonna say Starbucks, if Starfield comes out and it's an 11 out of 10, that's not going to change anything. And at the time and since then, I've been saying it's not. You're right, Phil. One game is not. But if you start throwing out these types of games consistently, like everyone's going to have a failure. Look at Concord. Concord was a massive failure. Like it was like, I know me and Will, we love that game. Like, but like we cannot deny that it was one of the biggest failures of all time, right? Everyone's gonna have a failure. Wii U, you know, like it happens. Don't let that just like completely kill your drive to do better. And I think now we're starting to see them pull out of that nosedive in terms of stuff they're putting out, you know. And a lot of people go, well, like Bethesda and Call of Duty, and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, like, you know, half those games were already made, or at least halfway done, you know, by the time those companies were acquired. Like seeing Compulsion put out such a strong showing, and seeing what now I'm confident is a fully Xbox helmed Doom game being put out. Awesome. Like let's see more of this. And then the third party relationships, if you can get those going, awesome. But I really hope that they keep delivering this stuff, because if you deliver these, I'm gonna buy them. Like, I will buy them. And power to you if you put them on the PlayStation, because I'll buy them on my Pro 100%. You know, if not, like Clair Obscur, I might buy on Steam, because then I can play on Steam Deck. You know, that'd be cool. But yeah, like I'm totally happy to throw my money at any publisher, studio, what have you, that's making good games. And I think we could all agree on that, right? Yeah. So like that's all. And I'm so glad that we all are just able to sit here, have a good conversation about Xbox, and just like go like, this was good. Let's see more. 'Cause now I'm excited. Right? Like, anyway, thank you so much if you were hanging out here today. Lethal, where can people find you?
You guys can find me at Lethal1 up pretty much across everything: Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Yeah, come check out the channels. We're currently streaming some Dark Souls, so if you're a fan of that, come check out the Twitch streams.
And Jester, what about you?
You can find me everywhere, Jester19X or Jester_19. I have to get that fixed because there's some stuff that has like different things. I'm currently streaming some Alan Wake 2 for the first time, and only reason why I'm playing it is because I'm a big Control person, so I want to get the lore ready for Control 2 / the FBC game. And yeah, and check out my YouTube, because I'm making a lot of content on YouTube now. pumping that out. But yeah, follow me on Jester19 everywhere.
Nice. And I'm Little Bobby here. I have my YouTube channel. It's Little Bobby as well. I'm on Blue Sky, Twitter. That might be Little Bobby or Little Bobby TV on those. Yeah. Follow us. Thank you so much for tuning in to this direct. And Xbox, keep it up, please. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you soon.